Hello, everyone. Welcome back for another rendition of Mini World Cup or Mapping Mania World Cup. I'm your host, Unpredictable, and I'm joined by Surf Chew.
Hello.
Yeah, this is your first time commentating on here. So, how do you feel?
Indeed, I was actually supposed to join at an earlier round, but due to some real life responsibilities, I've been hanging over the entire thing. So it's pretty nice to be here. Maybe, well, unfortunately, it had to be on the finals, but what can we do?
I mean, that's fine. Yeah, it's just cool that everyone here has had a chance to commentate. It's my third time commentating, so kind of used to it at this point for Mania World Cup, but or Mapping Mania World Cup, long name. But yeah, good to see y'all. This is a really exciting live stream as we have 5 submissions. And to preface, there were supposed to be 6, but we just have 5 this time around, and it is what it is. And as you guys know, there's only 2 songs that we're going to be showcasing here. So just be prepared if you weren't already for whatever reason. But yeah, really exciting stuff. And to also preface, me and Surfchu don't know the results. So we're going to be going with you guys blind into this as well. Only the organizers know the scores. And yeah. Yeah, it's going to be 5 maps, just to reiterate.
All right, so I think it's about time we get into the action.
Yes, very excited. Oh, let's see here. Let me just find before we jump in. Okay, here we go. All right. So for the 5th chart from the bottom up, we have Thailand. So as you can, we got some scores going on here. So representation, we have number 5, creativity number 3, playability number 5, and impression number 5. I have taken a look, and I pretty much have taken a look at all the charts submitted, and yeah, this one has a lot of cool ideas. So, well, it's a shame that they're number 5, but still, it's a really cool chart, and I guess we'll just kind of let it speak for itself. But do you know anything about this song, Surfchu?
Actually, this is like the first time I'll be hearing the songs as well. So it's pretty nice to be in like the benchmark. This is like the one that we're gonna be. I mean, the one I'm going to be looking into like as a benchmark. Like maybe there's some comparisons I might be giving, but as it stands, vocal dumping on the line, that is something that I haven't seen in ages. Well, considering that I haven't played 4K in ages as well, so it's pretty nice to be in this position again to see some of these fun charts that these people have made. And here, oh, that's rough. That is rough.
Yeah, there's some really interesting patterns, and I mean, you'll see it throughout like just all these submissions. But yeah, it's really interesting just to see what kind of liberties they take with this song. And you just saw some. But yeah, one thing to point out that was very obvious from the start is that this song has a very big emphasis on vocals, unlike the other song that you can choose from, or the other song that was chosen from. And so a lot of mappers have chosen to take liberties with that. This is you pretty much get to see it with this as well. So
I'm personally liking how they're using the rice notes overall leading in this chart. Like they're added in an emphasis, really helps enhance the element patterning here.
Yeah, a lot of these you're gonna be seeing a lot of shields throughout this chart.
Oh man, these releases are tight. I can just imagine playing this.
Yeah, this is pretty tough. Yeah, this is like probably like one of my favorite parts about this song. And it's interesting that they took just kind of a more hybrid approach, not like focused on Rice or LN specifically, though it's heavier on LN, but.
So taking advantage of the calm session, really, they show this is I actually appreciate those people who like to take advantage of the calmer section to show like a little bit of a theory. Like it still looks very consistent with what we've seen throughout the entire thing.
Yeah, I also just want to point out that yes, Onta is the replayer, so shout out to them.
Trying to see what they did with the final drop. These mini Jackson shields. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that was something I had noticed throughout the chart too. A lot of shields and jacks, which is kind of to be expected at this level. Oh wow, yeah, we're being told that Onta got an A rank on this, so very very difficult chart.
I feel like it's super hard to nail all of these shields, especially at the speed it's really coming in. Like the amount of it's super the amount of control here you need to even get through this entire chart is very big. Not a lot of people could go through and just be able to ooga booga their way through this.
Yeah, that is.
Oh, those four jacks.
Yeah, I think they did a good job with this.
Yeah. Oh, really good rendition of this song here from good rendition of the song from this chart from Thailand.
I you know, and I think that's a very like great and solid submission for what we saw there. And I honestly I think this says a lot about the submissions we're about to see next. Especially if this got 5th place. We're dealing with some really experienced mappers and mappers that are really trying to compete for first place. So a lot of the stuff we're gonna be seeing throughout this stream is just gonna be a lot of high quality stuff. And it's a shame they didn't place higher, but I mean, it's great that they were able to even get to the last stage to begin with. So shout outs to them. But yeah, overall thoughts about the chart? Anything else you want to say?
Well, if that is already the benchmark that we're gonna be seeing here, like if that's 5th place, I cannot wait to see the rest. Let's see how the other teams have dealt with the songs that they were given.
Yeah. All right, on to the next one. All right, so we have Team China. Wow. Okay, so we have representation number 3, creativity number 5, playability number 4, and impression number 4. Wow. If I'm not mistaken, didn't they get number? They got number 1 last stage? If I'm not mistaken. So. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. Yeah, it was group 1 number 1 on group B. Thanks for the refresher. Yeah, that is actually pretty crazy. I have seen this chart, and there's a lot of great ideas they have.
Okay, so pretty straightforward from what I'm seeing right now. Really good execution of the patterns. It does appear like at least of the scores, really. It does appear that this team compared to the other chart that we've seen earlier, this one really puts a focus on being able to be sure that the chart flows very well. It's not super straining on the hands despite the difficulty of the chart.
Yeah, I think one thing that's really important to note is that this one doesn't obviously feature any vocals. It's just instrumental, but um, it has a bigger emphasis on just like weird techier rhythms, and you'll see more of those throughout the song, and it creates for some really interesting concepts and ideas. Um, like this, I actually really like these like one trills. Yeah.
Like, that's the thing about the two songs. Really, now that I've heard the two songs that you selected, the main challenge of the first one is making sure that you're able to put as many patterns as much as possible. Because if you're just going to do vocal dumping, that's most likely the entire chart. Meanwhile, if you have stuff like this, you're pretty much led into trying to play as safe as possible. Try to not risk your patterning. Try not to put as much risk on the patterning, which sometimes playing a little bit too safe might not be exactly the thing you'd really want.
Right. Yeah, no, I agree. I think for a lot of these teams, a lot of them we're trying to get, come out of that comfort zone and make something difficult but also interestingly challenging. And again, we're gonna see that throughout the showcase, but yeah, just a lot of interesting stuff. Oh man, yeah, this one has a lot of shields. I remember this.
Jax.
No, yeah, sorry,
No,
I was
sorry,
gonna say, I just love how they like kind of transition from just like different ideas. Like one part's like super jacky. Now this one has had more jacks with LN, and then they let off into another part with more jacks and streams. So
Like, it's so hard to flow through the patterns, through the ideas, throughout the entire chart, especially if the music doesn't really give you that much room to begin with. So being able to get through the entire thing is really, really good.
I'm honestly still really surprised that they placed number fourth. That is very interesting in comparison to last stage. So, again, I guess it just shows you that what we're dealing with here in terms of just competition.
Does look like that indeed. I mean, at least oh,
this part is really tough.
That's so dense. But yeah, I was about to say, I feel like the first like the top three here is I think we're gonna see that balance, like the teams finally getting the balance between that playability and impression, at least from a judging perspective. Because that's what we've seen here. This one really scored higher playability. Impression is not that much. Meanwhile, Team Thailand was like the other way around.
Mm-hmm.
So we might be seeing a bit more of a balance really there. Oh, nice transition to this part.
Yeah, wow.
Just take the soul. Oh my goodness.
Oh my god.
That jump stream is rough. It usually looks hard on, like, if you're just watching, like, without context really, but I think there's some of these patterns that might flow a little bit better once you're actually on the keyboard and pressing the buttons yourself.
Yeah, I mean, that was a really solid chart with a lot of cool ideas. Again, kind of reiterating back to it, I'm honestly really surprised they placed fourth. That's a really great solid team of mappers. But man, overall thoughts on the chart?
Really, really solid job with Team China over there. I know the song doesn't really give that much of a room to be a bit more of that flowy chart, a bit more of a flowy charting that we saw from the earlier song, but that's part of the challenge, really, being able to get through the entire thing, try to express your ideas despite the amount of room that you're given with, so limited, but cannot be creative without the limits. Anyways, we're about to enter our top three. Let's see who gets that first podium spot.
Oh boy. Oh man.
Ooh.
United States, my goat.
Wow, these
Oh,
are some
wow.
familiar names.
Yeah, no. I think this one had a lot of expectations throughout the competition after seeing the list of charters. So that is cool that they are top three. Yeah. So we have number 2 in representation, number 3 creativity, number 3 in playability, number 3 in impression. Yeah.
This
A lot
one
of cool
was
stuff. A lot of cool stuff in this one as well, and you'll see it. I really like what they did with the chorus, but yeah. Sorry, you can go ahead.
Bit of, I would think like they played a little bit safe on the intro elements, but but sometimes like less is more. Like in a way, you don't really want to overload the chart, especially that it's practically focused on the vocals. We're not exactly at the part where it goes. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Ooh, these long jacks.
Yeah, if you're familiar with any of these charters, you probably recognize a lot of these patterns throughout their charts. And I find a lot of these charters to have like a really clean charting style, and so I think a lot of that is present throughout the chart. Especially at this level, it's pretty difficult. It's an interesting balance to keep something difficult, but also like it should play really well. And I think they did a really good job with capturing like the intensity of the song, whilst also being not overly crazy challenging. So
yeah, that's like the one thing that really contrasts on the early entry. It's relatively less dense, but again, that might be the LNs really putting the illusion here, because this is more of a rice focused chart. This section is so good.
yeah. So this part I definitely remember, and I knew immediately this was Lemon Guy. Immediately.
Like, you could definitely tell. Really amazing flow. Man, I love the use of jacks here.
Yeah.
They're not as intrusive, at least from what I'm seeing, which is a really good thing. Alright, let's see how they take this one home at the final drop. Really clean Ellens, really clean shield usage in this chart.
Yeah. Yeah, I also really like the contrast between like Toph's part versus like the earlier part with Lemon Guy, and then now we have this part with Alexar.
Honestly, you do feel like the ideas really flow really well. Like the chart looks super cohesive with its ideas.
Yeah, I
despite
would
the
say
despite the
the
contrast and styles. Yeah.
yeah, no, the synergy between these charters are really good, I think. And I think throughout this competition, that was something that was always ever present. Like they had just good chemistry, and they just make each other's ideas like work together really well. So
That's the thing about like these like the collab charter, like if a good collab chart is where the ideas flow so seamlessly. It's as if like it's as if it was made by one charter. But you can tell that a lot of people but you can tell that multiple people did it.
oh, 100%. Yeah, yeah, for sure. With like a
This
bunch of
this is one of those
different people.
charts.
Yeah, no, I really like their use of I just really like this take on this song, especially just seeing it. This was like the third time we see this song, um, and they had they overall had just like an interesting take on like the vocals and like kind of making the hybrid sections work together really well. The choruses were really cool. Um, yeah, I think that was. It's sad to see them place third, but I think they've made it like so far throughout the competition. So in a way, it's I also want to congratulate them. So
Honestly, when I saw the names, like, oh my goodness, like surely they're gonna be favorites to win it. I think I'm actually surprised that but I'm actually surprised that well, not surprised that they're on the podium, but wow, like just how good the other two charts are.
yeah, um, yes.
So,
So
who are the teams?
coming up. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
What are the teams remaining? I actually wonder because whoever gets second place here, I think we already know who's gonna be the winner.
That is true. That is very true. So let's get into it.
And on second place is
Oh wow. Okay. We have the American Alliance team. So we have representation number 4, creativity number 2, playability number 2, impression number 2.
And this is what I meant by earlier, like being able to hit that balance between playability and being able to really put an impression, similar to what we saw from the United States chart earlier. Like finding that balance, really.
Yeah, this is so in last in the last stage, they got number 1 for Group A. So very interesting to see that they well, it's interesting to see that they play so high again, but yeah, I think this is a very strong team with like also just a very very good synergy. Yeah, wow.
Let's see how they do that transition. Considerably different from the other two charts of this song that we saw. Lesser on the jacks really, and more on these streams. Okay, there's the jacks. Spoke too soon.
Yeah. I was like, man, well, I'm sure we'll see that. But yeah, we have like this interesting hybrid section.
I like how they did the Allens here. It's as if they're just it's as if you're executing the same pattern that we've done for over like what the past 20 seconds already of this chart. And the Allens are just there to help and like put a little bit of emphasis on the vocals and the melody that we can faintly hear at this part. Nice use of contrast. Really, really good.
this is
You-
yeah, this is a really cool part of or just a really good way to kind of capture everything all at once.
like, okay, so a bit more balance, but I mean, I'm pretty sure we can get away with the elements really in this part. But amazing use of contrast, especially earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, someone told me back then, like it was from a different game, different rhythm game, but still talking about charting. Usually, you'd be able to tell how good a charter is based on how they deal with with like the simplest songs, like making the most out of it, and that's the calm section right there. They did make the most out of it. Now again, using all of these, the contrast again with the LNs and the rice.
Yeah, and I think a lot of this patterning I'm seeing throughout the chart also kind of just reminds me of some of the previous works they had submitted throughout the competition, and though to a lesser extent and less dense. I'm just glad that they were able to kind of take those ideas and somehow put it into a chart like this, especially at a higher level. So. Yeah, this part's pretty clean. I like this part quite a bit.
I really like how it really uses the contrast and mechanics of the holds and the regular notes. Really amazing use of contrast.
Yeah, I would
Solid
expect.
end.
Yeah, that ending is pretty solid. I would expect it to be a little harder, but yeah, yeah, interesting. Well, yeah, I think. Well, congrats to them for placing second. That is a huge milestone. For in this competition, especially with so many teams that try to participate. Um, yeah, I think that was a really solid submission. Kind of throwing it back to the idea of just when I had seen their chart for the previous stage, I knew we would be in for a really cool treat for like the latest for this current stage. And again, it just has like a lot of those ideas that were always present um, throughout their previous submissions. So I'm glad they were just able to kind of go out with a bang, if you will. So
Amazing job by the American Alliance. Now for the winning chart, the winning team.
a lot of people probably already guessed it.
Yep. Here we go.
All right. Wow. Team Indonesia. We have representation number one, creativity number one. Oh my gosh, everything is number one. So that is insane.
On this song as well.
That I know. I'm actually very surprised because this song I thought was just the harder one out of the two. But wow, that is kind of incredible. One thing that is also kind of just throwing back to their previous submissions, and they've placed pretty high, pretty consistently throughout the competition. I know with their chroma chart, it was either number one or number two. Someone might be able to remind me, but it was very close to the top in the very first stage. And yeah, it's crazy to see that they're number one after just again consistently placing pretty high throughout each stage. So
I'm actually looking to this entire chart. Like, I like where they are bringing this chart. Like this one is like that's what I say. Said like compared to the other chart of this song that we have, I feel like this team is taking a little bit more risk with the charting, like trying to be a bit more like trying to push a little bit more forward with their charting here without sacrificing that much playability, which is really hard for really hard for this song.
this is really that's awesome that they were able to win the competition essentially. But yeah, no, there's a lot of cool ideas throughout this that I had really liked from when I had taken a look at it.
They're using the LN so well, despite like this not. If I were charting this, I wouldn't really be thinking of putting long notes on that part. But they're using the contrast just a little bit. The LN as contrast to the rice really for some of those parts where I feel like they made it work. They just made it work.
Yeah, so like this part is super interesting, and like being able to kind of balance there is really tricky, but they did a really cool job of doing it, capturing that.
Like how they're using the lens as part of the emphasis of the for the percussion there.
Yeah, also like these shields.
Okay, that dump wasn't too intrusive. Very good. Good way to wind the density. That is solid.
Yeah. I still can't believe they placed #1. Usually it's never like that. It's usually like a mix. That is insane.
Well, they really saved the best for the final round, huh?
Yeah,
Across
honestly,
the board.
Yeah, it just didn't hit me until we saw it. I was like, wow, we never said #1 in any of the other categories for the other teams. Because clearly they took it all. They took the spot for it. Yeah, I mean, this is a really cool chart.
Again, good use of the Ellen Rice contrast. Very clean execution of their ideas. Like they're conveyed very well.
What a really cool, epic way to end it off.
Sometimes less is more.
Yeah, I really like that.
Like let the density, let the speed of the chart carry the entire thing through. The simple pattern is more than enough. Like it actually put the emphasis on the music more. Like you're gonna be like at that point you'd want to nail those patterns as much as possible. Like it feels like an end kill for an arcade rhythm game chart or something like that. Maybe simple, but good job.
Yeah. Yeah, wow, what a way to end it off. I honestly didn't know what to expect, but I'm very pleasantly surprised by the results. So, again, thank you guys for for anyone that participated, thank you, and congratulations to the winners. Yeah. Is there anything you want to add, Surf?
Again, congratulations to our top to all of the participants, not only for the final round but for throughout this entire mapping Mania World Cup. This is like, I feel like this is the first time that we've had something like this in the Mania community. Pretty cool to see. I hope that 7K happens at some point. Wink wink nudge nudge. And also congratulations to Team Indonesia for what a solid job throughout through this through with that chart. Like that was a really good one. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to seeing more from those charters really, because what what synergy, as well as for the other teams. Like they, like the charts don't feel like collab charts. Like they feel like they were made by one person, but you can just tell. Again, as I said, like those as I said earlier, you know, a collab chart is good if they feel like they're made by one person.
Yeah, I just kind of reminiscing on the whole thing after commentating for 3 streams now. It's insane just to see how much talent was put on screen. Even if your team didn't make it to a certain stage or didn't make it to a place you didn't want to make it, it was just really cool to see you guys put your efforts in practice. And it, in Team Indonesia's case, it really paid off. And though I feel like it's as a tournament, it has some hiccups. I just appreciate you guys for being super awesome and working with us through the process of making this a great competition, because there's not really quite anything like this for Mania, and I think it's only going to get better. And just kind of want to I just want to iterate this. So after this, we're going to be asking for feedback for future iterations, and you'll be able to talk about that on the Discord. There'll be a thread created, so on the Discord. So just letting you guys know. And yeah, I'm just trying to think of anything for closing thoughts. It's been a pleasure. It's been great.
Indeed,
Yeah,
indeed.
no, sorry, go ahead.
I know. I've only been here for like what, one stream, and it's finals, but but I hope like hopefully now with some of my real life responsibilities become a little bit lighter. Maybe next time around I'll be here again. Like we'll see what happens. Again, thank you guys so much for for supporting this entire tournament. Really, it's been a really fun process. Nice to see really good charts from really good people. I hope some of the less popular charters in the tournament, I hope that they get the recognition that they deserve, because you need that. You deserve that. Anyways, I think it's about time for us to say our goodbyes.
Yes, thank you guys so much. I'll see you guys next time. It's been great.
See ya.
Click the circles to the beat. Circles. Click. Circles. Click. Circle. Click the circles.